I think everyone must have played the Buzz Off game. There are lots of different names for it, of course. It's a fun game and it relies on the use of a switch. And the switch, just like the paperclip switch idea, two pieces of metal touch or apart. That's how the the game basically works. So we need some bits of wire. So this is the copper wire that comes out from the inside of normal mains cable, and if you've got a piece of that, you can actually gradually tease it out by pulling it with pliers. Don't try and pull it out all in one go. Just gradually slide it out a bit at a time. And there it goes. That's a really long piece. It's a bit unmanageable, but a piece about 30 centimeters long is fabulous, and then a piece which is 10 centimeters long. And this allows us to adapt our little buzzer circuit so that the hoop and the loop, so the hoop would be the part that you hold and move it around, right, using all your skills and dexterity to move the hoop around, and the loop would be sort of the loop, which would be like a roller coaster. Just think of a loop the loop roller coaster. So what we'll do is, look, we'll just take this part and curve it round. So this is about 30 centimeters long, and I'll pop it into the foam. And now I'll bend it backwards so you get a better view of it. There it is there. Well, we've got set up our very simple buzzer circuit, which we've already covered, and there's our little switch there. Now at the moment the loop wire has got nothing to do with it, so we'll just turn it on, and there's our little buzzer. No problem at all. But we want this to be part of the game, because the whole idea is that when the hoop touches it, that's when we want the circuit to be complete. And this is no different to our paperclip switch. Two separate pieces of metal touch each other, and that completes a circuit. And this is the same. Two separate pieces of metal, we want to touch them and complete the circuit. Now you can have a go at this yourself before you see the rest. It's a lovely little challenge. How are we going to rearrange this circuit in order to let that happen? So while you're thinking about that, look, I'll make the little hoop. So there's our loop shape. Not a very exciting shape, is it? And here's the hoop. So if you use something like the end of a felt pen, which is already rounded, and press quite firmly with your thumb just to hold it, and then gradually close to the felt pen, gradually work it round. Careful with the end bit there, because you don't want to pierce your finger. There it goes. You get a perfect shape of a hoop. Now at that neck point there, bend it back. Copper is lovely and soft to work with, so it's not difficult to make that. It looks good too, doesn't it? So there's our little hoop. Now let's make this a bit more interesting. Well, we just need to bend the shape, don't we? Now personally I would use things like felt pens to get a lovely curve all the way around it. So this is rather hastily done, but you get the idea. It's a bit like a profile of a creature, doesn't it? So now what we've got to do is try and join the two together with a circuit. And that's what sounds so simple, isn't it? We're going to need to make a break in the circuit to incorporate our hoop and loop. So we're going to need another wire. So this all looks so simple. We simply join that there. Now we've still got our switch in the circuit, so let's deliberately first of all switch it on. So we're switched on, and now we've got to incorporate the buzzer. This, it looks so simple. Well, there we are. Oops, now let's play the game. Wait a minute, that's not right. The buzzer's already buzzing and we're not doing anything. So it doesn't make any difference if we touch this or not. So that can't be it. So what on earth do we do? You've just got to think back. A switch works by two separate pieces of metal closing together and touching. So they don't touch, but then they do touch. Don't touch, do touch, and both parts have to have their own connection to the circuit. Well, we've got one part of our hoop and loop joined to the circuit. Now we need the other part joined. So it really is as simple as that. So there's one limb of the circuit. Now it goes through that switch as well, so we've got to make sure that's turned on. Then we're ready, and this is our new switch. Moving piece of metal, fixed piece of metal. When we touch, hopefully, we've got the buzzer working. So we'll turn it off to begin with. Now it doesn't work. Really, we've got two switches here, haven't we? One which is the master on-off switch for the game, and one is the actual switch which lets us play the game. So get ready, hook it on, and let's go. Right, how many seconds? 10 seconds to get to the other side. Is anybody counting? Let's have a look. There we go. I think this is just too easy. It's too easy. Let's just check. It definitely does work. I just think we need to do something with the hoop and the loop, perhaps make the loop more complicated, and then perhaps make this smaller. Maybe you could have several versions of the hoop and you just clip onto them to play different levels of the game. So have a go at that, see what you think. This could develop into a fabulous project where we'll hold the whole thing together in a separate sort of container or on a separate sort of block, which means that the circuit board is freed up for use elsewhere. So we don't want to use these actual components, just like with the Torch project and various other buzzer projects. We could make this into an actual solid artifact. So have a look on the rest of the channel for other videos related to this, and the ones to look for are those ones which indicate there's a buzzer in the circuit. So one is called buzzer circuit and the other one the Morse code buzzer and that sort of stuff. Have a look at them, see what you can come up with. Okay.